we've talked on the YouTube channel about Fast and Furious and just its franchise in general, and of course the upcoming Fast and Furious 9, known as F9, that's going to be coming out in 2021. I want to talk about, guys, where this movie is at this point, where they might be at in development, and will they be able to stick to the April 2nd, 2021 release date. So let's talk about it. So really quick, guys, Fast and Furious has become, one of those franchises that's becoming a fan favorite amongst many moviegoers out there. I mean, they started out as a pretty small franchise, and it's just grown over the years into some juggernaut of a franchise, and who knows where this could go. I mean, they're planning on F9 and then a Fast and Furious 10, and then from there, who knows where it could go from there. So what I'm getting at is, this franchise, I think, is here to stay for the foreseeable future because each of these movies makes a lot of money. And so one of the things that I want to mention is, this movie is slated for April 2nd of 2021, and all these movies are getting pushed back till later dates because of the pandemic going on. And so the question is it going to be able to stick to that date, right? Or are they going to have to continue pushing it, back farther and farther? Because production on a lot of these movies, whether they're in pre-production, they're actually in principal photography, or they are actually in post-production, a lot of the things have shifted now because of the pandemic. I mean, look, at the end of the day, F9 coming out in 2021, that gives them plenty of time to really, put things in place that they need to. But here's the problem, is that there's so many other movies that are getting delayed now that the competition's becoming really stiff. And so now F9, instead of going up against maybe one other blockbuster hit, it might be going up against 3 or 4 or even more than that when it does release in April. And so here's the thing, guys. Don't hold your breath for an April 2nd, 2021 release date. Now, as far as where they are in production, I'm sure that they've made some decent progress, but I don't think that they're done with this film quite yet, guys. I mean, they still probably have a decent way to go here. And obviously, when things shut down within, of course, because of the pandemic, that's halted production on all of these movies. So don't be surprised it gets pushed back later. But the question is where is it, guys? Well, I still think that it's absolutely going to be coming out. Now, is it going to be coming to theaters is another question that we've got to kind of ask ourselves. If it has to continue being pushed back, more and more people aren't going to go, potentially will go to the movie theaters. And if they do go back to the theaters, at what rate are we going to see that? Because people don't want to risk being, in groups of others, right? At least right now. So the question remains, if these movie theaters are only able to sell half the capacity, that means that the ticket prices are going to be inflated, which is going to mean it's going to be a lot more money to go to the movie theaters. And then after all of that is said and done, these, studios may not even think it's worth putting the movies in theaters because people aren't going to pay to go watch them. So at the end of the day, they decide to put it onto a streaming service, which at the end, it's hard to say whether or not that is, obviously it's going to be the future, I believe. In the foreseeable future, we're going to be seeing all of these movies go straight to streaming services, and it'll be like individual streaming services, right? Like Netflix and Disney Plus and so on and so forth. But as of right now, I do think that they're definitely planning a theatrical release here for F9, and I think that it deserves it because these are big blockbuster movies and they're very exciting. So I think, guys, that we can expect this movie to come out, but it might not be until later in 2021. Maybe it'll even get pushed to 2022. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen because I want to see this movie just as bad as everybody else, but this is kind of where we're at this very moment in time with this franchise and really with this movie in particular. Lots of other movies are being shifted around because of the pandemic. We'll see what happens, guys. But let me know, what is it that you guys want to see the most out of Fast and Furious 9? Let me know in the comment section below. And for more Fast and Furious 9 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.